right, getting ready to start. It's going down. What's up, Nori?
What's up, G? How you doing? How you doing?
Oh, happy New Year's.
Happy New Year. Listen, before I even get started, because I always forget to say this, guys, please make sure you share this. Share, share, share. Everybody that goes on there and share it, please kick it back and let me know that you shared it so I can shout you out. I appreciate that. Please share the podcast. All right. Welcome to the Lunchtime Power Hour, brought to you by your girl, Miss Butterfly Beast of Fitness by Nori. Um, Today is an amazing day, G. How you doing? How you
Oh,
been?
hanging in there, man. I see my girl, Ellery. She done ate my cookies, my candy. That's my
Look,
girl.
you always have that stuff here for her.
Yeah, I've been holding it for her, you know what I mean?
That's a shame. That is really a shame.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to see
Listen,
her.
how was your New Year? What did you do?
Nothing.
Wait a minute.
Man, I come from New York. When New Year's come around, if you ain't in Midtown Manhattan, it's real dangerous running around Harlem with firecrackers and gunshots and
Oh yeah.
everything. Somebody trying to get you, that's a good time. Then that and 4th of July. So them kind of times I make myself a little invisible.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, you're not in New York no more,
Yeah, but you
G, and
you
you've
you
been in Texas
you
for
still
like
and
years.
guess what? Those guys be raining more bullets than they were in New York, shooting up in the air. Them bullets come down.
They do.
So I sat still, during that time.
Okay.
I didn't seen 61 New Years. So I'm not
61 New
impressed.
Year.
I'm not impressed.
Okay, so what did you do this week? How was your week?
Just after the cold front that we had a bird crawl up in my vents and died, froze to death.
Oh
And if
wow.
I tell you when the warmth came, that stench
Oh
of
man.
death was floating around here. So they couldn't get nobody to me right away. And they said, if you go out and want to go and do it on your own, and then I reached out,
Oh no.
it was just too much money. So,
You let the maintenance folks do that.
well, they didn't get here yet. But in the meantime, I just closed all events. You see how plastic
Well, I'm gonna tell
my
you
top
this.
up there?
I'm
Yeah,
so glad you took care of it because I have a real bad issue
yeah,
with like my nose and stuff is really sensitive. So I have a really like tough issue with like scents and smells and stuff.
yeah. Well,
So
you wouldn't have liked it
do
here a couple of days ago. It,
yeah,
it
I
was it
probably
was
would have
just
had to go on
terrible.
and cancel.
Yeah, it was terrible. So,
Oh man, in class this week, somebody, of course that's part of life, so I'm not tripping, but somebody, did they thing in class and I almost lost it. I'm not playing.
Ellery.
I flew the door open and everything and one of my clients and she's also my friend Tacardi, she just I mean before it even hit me, I guess she smelled it back there or whatever and she was already laughing and when it hit me, I mean, I yelled out and I looked at her in the mirror and she was just laughing or whatever. And she was like, I knew you was about to get pissed. So I'm so glad you took care of that issue before I got here. I don't know.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
sisters and them talk about me all the time. They like, girl, what you gonna do when you get pregnant? Because they say the senses are heightened when you get pregnant. I was like, I don't know. Cut it off. Cut this nose off or something. Because, baby, this sense here is something serious. And you know how they say that you gain stronger senses in one when you lose senses in the other.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I haven't lost any of my. I mean, I can see, I can see through your BS. I can hear. I taste. Look. I don't know what's going on, but that smell. Oh my God! It do something with me. Give me an attitude. You hear me?
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. It smelled like, I had probably went through a whole bunch of my burning oils and incense. It smelled like sweet death up in here.
Not sweet death.
Sweet death. You still got a dead body around here somewhere, but it just smelled real sweet. Yeah, it just wasn't getting it. I mean,
It wasn't cutting it.
no, no.
Oh man.
But I'm glad I got two separate AC units.
Yeah.
Because it stunk up the front, but the back, I just hung around in there and did a lot of my work off the computer in the back.
Okay.
Because I couldn't have sat up front here a couple of days ago. It was terrible.
Oh man, that is crazy. All right, well,
What's your resolution? Getting pregnant? That's the first thing I heard you say.
dude. So I don't make New Year's resolutions anymore. In really, and we're gonna talk about that today too, because the topic is growth for the new year, right?
Right.
But really, if you haven't already set your plans into motion in the last quarter of last year, then you already behind,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I really don't make New Year's resolutions because, and that's one thing I don't do. I don't train for events and all of that. I need to be in this dress, by Friday. I don't do all of that because it's a lifestyle, and when you are jerking people around like that and causing their heart to fluctuate, gain weight, lose weight and all that, that could be of a little bit more detriment than just them being consistent and doing this on a daily basis and taking it slow. When you take it slower, a little bit slower, you lose the weight. You gain it back slower if that's what you end up doing. It comes back a little slower. So yeah, I don't have any New Year's resolutions. And definitely not to get pregnant.
Well, I heard you say that.
No.
And I know you're a woman in your word, so.
My sisters said they would hate to see me pregnant because of how my senses are already with the way that I smell. So I guess I have to clarify that.
Well,
to
I'd like to
G.
see you. I would like to see you pregnant.
No, you would not.
Uncle G,
I wouldn't like to see me pregnant. And I have yet to meet a man, and pray for me. And I don't want to step out of term. I haven't yet to meet a man that, marry me or anything like that.
Well, I want to see him first.
To destroy this beautiful shape,
Yeah,
right?
but I want to see him first because
That I've
I want
worked
to make
so
sure.
hard for.
Oh yeah, I want to make sure his genes fit right.
That
because
is wait, what?
his genes. Like y'all make a nice looking baby. You can't bring no ugly dude around here. I will break that up.
Oh my God! Listen.
We are not trying to have Ellery run around with no ugly baby talking about she related. No.
Wait a minute.
Not
I was
gonna
talking
happen.
to one of I was talking to one of my partners today. Literally, dude, today. It's funny that you say that. Because he said his granddaddy told him that he was an ugly baby. that he was so ugly that he was unique. So,
Yeah, that's
he said he went and looked up the word unique and it said one of a kind. And he said, so he went back and he told his granddad, like, dang, I'm so ugly, I'm one of a kind.
wow.
That's awful. So no, G, I'm not gonna hook up with nobody.
That's nothing worse. It's nothing worse than an ugly baby. I mean,
I'm not gonna hook up with somebody that's so ugly that we have a baby that's so ugly they're unique, right?
Yeah,
I'm not gonna do it. Hey Derek, what's up? What's up? Y'all please share this. And once you share it, let me know so that I can kick a shout out to you. Thank you. So go ahead, G.
I was gonna say back to the resolutions for the new year. If things have been working for you or they look like they going in order or work, continue doing what you're doing. But if you've been hitting brick walls, it's time to rethink what you're doing. Not saying to stop, but maybe, reevaluate and start all over and see why it's not working at all. Because, anything that God is behind, it has to have some growth to it. When you get stumped and you can't move or whatever the case may be, it may be just not the right thing, and you may need to rethink, what you're doing. But, right off the back, I did do what I said that I was going to do. I just haven't made it over to your class yet, but I have been cutting my meals off at a certain time. I haven't drank any sodas, sweets, anything like that for now. It's been like a week and a half. So I'm working on building that side. I'm getting ready to come to the class. Don't be surprised you see me come in, but I want to make sure I can get in my sweatsuit right.
I am so proud.
There's a lot of women in there. I seen a couple of guys, and I'm like, I'm not gonna walk in there looking like one of the clumps, just out of shape. God.
But listen, G, you got to start somewhere. It's okay. It doesn't matter how you start. It matters that you started.
But it's some fine women that already got settled, and I don't want them to see me struggling like that.
Well, understand this. Women like projects.
Really?
I'm going to leave it like that.
Okay, I'll be over.
They see you over there struggling, and they be over there trying to help you,
I'm going to fall down and try to get mouth to mouth or something.
Oh, my God. Even the sexiest, the strongest athlete, the most built athlete or whatever, the sexiest gym enthusiast or whatever, they had to start somewhere. Me, I wasn't always like this, of course. I started, of course, people know my story. I started because I went through a divorce, and I sat up in the bed every night eating ice cream and potato chips, and I was just getting fatter and fatter, and I was just, what?
That's like pickles and milk. How did that mix? Potato chips and ice cream?
It's the sweet and salty. It's the sweet and salty, that tangy, But I was eating myself down this black hole. I was hurting. And a lot of times people are hurting, and they'll do that to themselves, because food is comforting to us.
Yeah.
And so that's what I was doing. And so
I went to the gym a couple of years back, and like the main thing is not knowing what to do when you walk in the gym. You know what I mean? You basically, you see all this stuff, but some of it don't even benefit you, and you just jump right toward that, and that's not what you need to get started. So I'm like, well, let me get on this treadmill.
Right, and then some people jump on the equipment and they hurt themselves.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you said that. Let me give a couple of tips. You know me, I don't do everything for money, so I don't mind throwing it out there.
Right.
One thing you do not want to do when you go to the gym, you do not want to get on any piece of cardio equipment more than 5 to 7 minutes. Switch it up. You want to do cardio for about 15, 30 minutes. So if you do a 30-minute cardio session, do 10 minutes on one equipment, 10 minutes on another equipment, 10 minutes on another equipment, right? What that does is it changes, it uses different muscle groups. A lot of people think, oh, I'm on a treadmill and I'm just walking, so you're using your legs. You jump on the elliptical, you're using your legs, So no, you on the elliptical, you're using your arms and your legs, which causes you to have to balance a little bit more. On the treadmill, you don't want to just walk straight on a treadmill. Do it at an incline. Do it at about a 3.5 incline, walk at about a 3 or 3.5. If you can speed it up and run up the incline, do that as well, but don't stay on the piece of equipment more than 10 minutes.
Well, I wish I had you back then, because it was this old white lady. She's probably about 75 years old. And if I tell you, this lady made me look bad. I mean, I wouldn't get off because it was like she was on it. And I'm like, ain't no way in the world I'm going to let this old lady show me up. You know what I'm saying? I'm in there in competition, out of shape like hell. This lady was just doing it easy, just boom, 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 boom. I look up. I'm like, yo, I'm sweating hard. I want to drink something so bad. I'm at a point where, yo, if you don't get off this, you're going to fall out in here. This lady's still going. I'm like, yo, man. I mean, so don't go in there trying to compete with nobody.
That's probably something she do all the time, every day.
Right.
Where cardio does have its place, right?
Yeah.
It's to strengthen the cardiovascular system, right? I look at the body as like pumps and valves. Like I look at it as a machine, right?
Right.
So your heart is a pump. And so what it does is it's using it to strengthen that muscle so that it could pump the blood and the oxygen throughout your body, right? So cardio does have its place for the cardiovascular system and strengthening that particular muscle. However, it wreaks havoc on your muscles. if you want toned muscles, if you want definition, if you want to be able to stand up straight and not crook over and bend all over because your muscles is not strong around your skeletal system, then you want to do some weights and you want to do some resistance training.
I want to do some sleeping after she wore me out, man. I didn't want sex or nothing for about a week. I was wore out for real. I mean, after that, I started going in real late. Me and homeless dudes was up in there working out.
Not homeless.
Yeah, because I mean, I could not be around people and I wasn't in shape and I felt real bad. Like, damn, this lady made me, man.
Well, that brings me to this point, right? We're at the new spot now, right? At the DeSoto Recreation Center. It's 211 East Pleasant Run Road, 211 East Pleasant Run Road in DeSoto, Texas. So we're over there at the Recreation Center, and I'm doing 2 different classes. I'm doing the HIIT class, right, which is the Total Body Experience, and I'm doing circuit training. So people have asked me, well, why Total Body Experience? Because it challenges the entire body. You start to tap into your mind. In order to even be at the class, you've already made up your mind to come, right? But what it does is I work on all parts of the body. Arms, abs, your arms, abs, your back, your glutes, your quads, your inner thighs, your calves, like your toes, your ankles, like I work on everything, right? And so you have to tap into that mental, and you're like, man, sometimes you're like, I can't do this. But if you pushing through and you see other people around you doing it, then it does help you kind of push through a little bit. Circuit training is a little bit different. Circuit training is set up as stations, and circuit training is you against you. You're the only one on that piece of equipment or at that station at that time. So you're looking at you. Nobody else is doing that same thing that you're doing. So you can't look at them and say, oh, let me push through because they're doing it. No, you have to go within and you have to say, I'm going to rock out for this, 30 or 45 seconds or however long it's set up for that particular station, right? And you have to think about it. Nobody is watching you because they're not doing the same thing that you're doing. They're too busy focusing on what they're trying to do at their particular station. And so that's the reason why I chose those 2. And when I do the mixture of the 2, it gives you that a little bit stronger resistance training that you're needing on the circuit training, but you're also getting that HIIT, which is that high intensity interval training that you need in order for you to hit that cardio versus you getting on a treadmill and rolling for 30, 45 minutes, 2 hours, right? And you're burning longer too. So a lot of people go and eat within 30 minutes of a HIIT class or something like that, so that it's still burning what they've just done.
Well, so how long, like, me as a beginner, how long should I work out, to start,
I mean, you can start as a beginner, just get out your seat. 15, 20 minutes.
No, I'm saying your gym.
No, you can do some stuff in 15, 20 minutes. Just get out your seat. If you're trying to tone out and stuff like that, you can do some amazing things in 30 minutes. My class is an hour class. However, I'm only running for about 50 minutes. Because 5 minutes is a warm up and stretch, and the other 5 minutes is a cool down and a stretch, and I pray, But 30, 45 minutes to an hour, you really don't need to work out that much, especially if you're working out every day. Now, everybody is not like me. I conditioned myself to work out like this every day. Okay? Everybody does not have to do that. Everybody's goals is not the same. Everybody in a fitness regimen is not the same. Everybody is different. Every fingerprint is different. Every eye retina is different. Everybody is different. So stop trying to go off of what everybody else is doing. Yes, like I tell people, go look on YouTube, go look on Facebook, do whatever you need to do. But if you want something specific for you, you need to get a trainer. That is what they are trained to do. That's what they are certified to do. Some trainers, they call themselves trainers and coaches or whatever. They might not be certified. It's up to you to do your due diligence and research all of that or whatever. I'm not talking about anybody. Hey, some people are amazing at what they do and never went to school for because it's a gift that God gave them, But You have some people out there that's just out here just because this works for them and they don't know how to help the other person or transition the other person. You know, everybody is different. You have people like myself. I have a couple of other friends in the industry. Like, we bounce information off of each other. And if I can't help them with this particular thing, or I feel like I don't want to mess them up, I go to my colleagues and say, hey, let's, talk about this and let's work through this together. You learn from nobody. There is not a person on this earth that knows everything about every subject. It's just not. And so you get that information by, tapping into each other and helping each other. But my suggestion is to make sure that you get someone that can help you with your individual personal goals. And like I always say, if there's one thing, if I can give one suggestion, it is to cut out all of those sugary, fruity, syrupy drinks.
Yeah, I've kicked the habit so far.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give myself a shout out. And my New Year's resolution is going to be to learn to say my main girl's name, Celestina.
That's it.
Something. The last name is what kills me. I can say this first name all the way, but it's that last name. What is that last name?
Celestina Cisneros.
She sounds like she can cook,
Well, I don't know. Anyway, shouts out to Tina. What's up, girl?
That's my girl. I got to get that name right. I'm sorry, love. I'm working on it.
Lord help. But yeah, if I could suggest any one thing, if you could, and that's a problem that people do too. They jump in there and they try to do everything at one time.
Right.
You don't do everything because you're gonna fall back on it. Do one thing. Do one thing. Try to do that one thing for 30 days. Try to continue to do that one thing for 60 days, for 90 days. Anything you do, they say past 21 days, it becomes a habit, right? Well, push it to 30, push it to 60 and 90. And you will, if you stop the sugary, sweet drinks, liquor, the drinks that they put in as healthy drinks like teas and stuff like that. If you stop all of that, the coffees and the iced coffees and the, all of this, you will see, I promise you,
the way to
you will see some results in 30 days. I don't know what else that I need to say for people to even just try that one technique. I promise you will see results in 30 days if you do that one thing. One thing.
Okay, now looking at me, you've been around me for 4 years almost.
Hey, Chris. Yes.
What do I need to do? Just looking at me right off the bat. You look at people walking down the street like, this dude really needs, what do I need to do?
So you saying, what do you need to do as far as me looking at you?
Right, looking at me.
I can't just look at you and say what you need to do because I don't know what your lifestyle is.
If I'm 299 pounds, you can look at me and say you need to lose weight. Now, you see me in here a lot of times. You almost see me with a muscle shirt on. You know what I mean? What do I need to do right off the bat that you see?
I mean, you need to lose some weight.
Right.
I mean, is that what you want me to say?
Well, I want to say I need to work my midsection. I think my weight is good. I think a lot of it is in my midsection.
Think about this, though. There are different reasons why people have different things. So that's what I was trying to say just a minute ago. I can't just look at you and say, oh, you need to do this. Because what if I come to you and say, G, you need to, and I know you, but if I didn't, right? Mm-hmm. If I come to you and say, hey, G, you need to get up and go to the gym and you need to work out. And you looking at me like, I work out every day. Like, you see what I'm saying? I got a friend that actually works out every day.
Mm-hmm.
And there's still things that hasn't changed. Well, then I touch bases and I talk to you and say, hey, what are you doing here? What are you doing there? Like you just spoke specifically about your abs, your stomach, your midsection, right?
Right.
There are different things going on. If you say, for instance, if you're diabetic, there's insulin resistance. If you're stressed out, if you're eating at different times and stuff like that, a lot of our weight and stress and all of that goes to that area, men and women. So it's not about what you eat as far as, not about what you consume by way of what you eat. is what you consume by way of what you eat, drink, stress, everything, what's coming inside. Right. And how is your body processing the stress? So I can't just tell you by looking at you. I have to actually have a conversation with you and figure out what's going on. You might be eating perfectly fine. You might be eating all the right foods, like everything, but you're eating them at midnight and you're going to sleep at 12:15.
Yeah, I always used to do that, but again, like I said, the last couple of weeks, because I told you that I wanted to do on the 1st. I wasn't going to start on the 1st, so I started a couple of weeks in advance, like even doing, people was cooking during the holidays. I didn't eat nothing. Right. I didn't want that. I wanted to kind of purge my body and, go in a different direction for 2023.
You talking about purging and going in a different direction. I had already got started on mine too. And Christmas, my family wanted to do a non-traditional Christmas dinner, right? They wanted to do a fish fry. And they love the way that I fry my fish, right? So I got voluntold that I was frying fish. I'm in there frying fish and fries and hush puppies and all this stuff. And I couldn't even eat none. That lets you know how people don't care about what you got going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I almost had a conniption up in there. They were crunching down on the fish. They talking about, oh, the fish is so good, this and that. I wanted to taste that fish.
Yeah.
I really did. I really did. I was chewing something, baby gonna say, Nani, what you eating? I'm chewing some gum. Can I have that, please? Wow. Like Jesus.
So now you know what the crack addicts go through when they trying to straighten their life out and they get around everybody and they even smoking more now. It's a bad temptation,
Right. And that's what's crazy, G. It's funny that you said that. A lot of times I end up going through stuff. It seems like right before my clients and stuff go through it. So I'm able to help them or walk them through it. I would say 85-90% of the things that they've gone through as it relates to weight loss and stuff like that I've gone through it. The cravings, the frustration, the looking at yourself and still seeing that you're not actually who you think that you are. You're seeing that old person. I've been through a lot of those different things. And so I'm able to talk to them or help them through it and stuff like that. It's really a mental check,
Yeah.
So.
And I'm seeing this new setup you got at the DeSoto Recreation Center. Uh-huh. I see y'all was on full fleet last night doing your thing.
Oh, my God.
I'm gonna got the video up. I think I want to show the people a little something.
Go on and show them, G. Last night it was something serious. I don't know. I mean, maybe because it was the room, maybe it was I think it was because all the people that came out, and and I have been missing everybody. We was out for the holidays and the Christmas and New Year's, and man, it was just. I mean, even one of the people in the class, her name is Shay. Shay had posted it on there. Normally she kind of go quiet. Shay posted on there. Class was lit last night. So
yeah. Then my girl Ellery was the star of the video.
My God.
Y'all gonna see a little girl that steps right in the middle of the camera. She she's doing her Puff Daddy.
Oh my God.
She's gonna get in your
all
video.
In the video.
Yeah, all dancing and she did a Puff Daddy last night. So let me show you a little clip of this. Here she comes.
Look, tipping up in there.
Yeah.
Baby, that jumpsuit. Look, hands and everything.
Yeah.
I had guys in the class, Chris and Nia, They came fussing at me afterwards.
Yeah, but that's how we do it, giving y'all a taste. Big shout out to my girl, Puff Ellery. You know what I'm saying?
Kristen came to me after class. Neil done grabbed me right before we took the pictures. Y'all don't stop being, you need to stop being mean to Ellery and this and that. Ellery need to sit down and get from in front of that
When
camera.
you walked up on her, I was expecting a left hook the way you came running. I'm like, yo, get off my baby. You know what I'm saying? But she all good. She here. She was sitting over here actually watching the video again,
And she'll start laughing.
Yeah.
Then to let you guys know, Ellery is in studio today. She is out of school until Monday. And so y'all know when she's out of school, I normally have her.
Ellery? Ellery, come in and say hi.
So she's with us today. Say what's up, Els.
Come over here. Say right here to the microphone.
A miss.
Say hi, everybody. This is just so y'all know that she actually didn't kill her.
I did not kill her.
Some of them got their finger on 911 now, about to call abuse squad. She's here. She's good.
Look, they're going to call them initials. That's what Sherry said today. I'm going to call them initials. No, don't call CPS on me. She say I'm her favorite auntie until I get mad, until she get mad at me. Then she say I'm not her favorite auntie anymore. Well, I'm your only auntie. Other than that, you got your TT. Her TT is her other auntie.
Yeah.
Look, I try to make her make a difference between the two of us, right?
Now, another thing is I see the flyer here.
Uh-huh.
Now, what is this talking about on the 20th and the 23rd of January? What's going on that day? Talk about it.
Look, I don't know what you're talking about.
is the flyer that say January 20?
It's January 2023. It's just saying that in January,
okay. I thought it was 20.
Yeah, the classes were gonna start popping off at DeSoto Recreation Center and Honey. They started. I had been over there kind of scapping things out or whatever since December 5th. And morning classes and stuff like that, and just kind of laying the footwork and everything. And we're there at 5 a.m. Monday through Thursday, and I alternate the total body experience and the circuit training at 5 a.m. so that you can get a little bit of both of them, and you'll find a quicker transition in your body too, because we're doing more toning as well. So at 5 a.m. I also have, and that's Monday and Wednesdays, the total body experience, and Tuesday and Thursdays, the circuit training at 5 a.m. I also put up a 6 a.m. class too, but everybody is gravitating to the 5 a.m. class because they're having to get their children up and get them to school and stuff like that. And so they're using that first hour as soon as they get up for themselves. And that is absolutely amazing, which is one of the things that we're going to talk about today as far as, no New Year's resolution, making sure that you set things in place for yourself. It doesn't matter about everybody else. If you're not good,
right,
you're supposed to serve everybody else from the overflow of your cup. If your cup is not overflowing, then that means that you're not full where you need to be. And so you need to just put everything else off until you get it there. Because if you're not good, everybody else is not good, But that's the 5 a.m. class. And then I have a 6, like I said, and then the 7 p.m. at night. Every Monday night, 7 p.m., we're doing trampoline. That's where we use the 40-inch round trampolines, and we do some cardio. We get that lymphatic system moving, get some stuff draining and detoxifying up in that body, cleansing. So every Monday night at 7 p.m. And then on Tuesday through Thursday at 7 p.m., we have the HIIT training again. And so that's what you guys got a chance to preview from last night's HIIT last night.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, gee, we just kind of jumped on in there because I didn't even get to give my shouts out or nothing like that. At the end of the year, we lost a legendary news anchor, Barbara Walters. We lost her. And she was, she had lived her life. She was 93.
And still basically was working.
Yeah. She was 93, and we lost her at the turn of the year, December 30th, Reports said that her health had been declining for years. And so, guys, with that being said, make sure you get your checkups and stuff. And if, doctors and stuff are telling you things, make those changes, make those transitions. We were meant to live a lot longer than we are actually living. And you can do that if you make sure that your body is healthy and that you're running that optimal health. My sister Bree is the one that told me about the news, because I don't look at the news, right? So she sent me the news via text. And she tagged it. She sent me Barbara Walters' picture, and she tagged it. She gonna say, "Well, hell, why at the end of the year start snatching people like it has a quota to meet?" I was like, girl, you crazy. And right behind that, at the beginning of the year, we lost Gangsta Boo. Gangsta Boo is an American rapper that was a part of 3-6 Mafia, the hip hop group.
What happened with
Mafia.
her?
Well, there's been reports or whatever stating that she had an overdose, but I just read the stuff. I don't know. But the claim is that she passed from an overdose, and that they found her in an area, I think it was west of the Memphis airport, which, of course, I know a little bit about Memphis because I was married to somebody from Memphis, Tennessee. So we were there a lot. So that area is kind of a little tough area. Yeah. And so that's what the speculation
I should be down there too.
You did?
Yeah, I was down there off of Danny Thomas Boulevard. Mm-hmm. And cats is kind of rough out there in Memphis. Yeah. New Orleans and Memphis and Little Rock, Arkansas. Them are 3 places that you can get it. If you don't go right, you can really actually get it, because they don't care, Yeah. And that's a shame, because she was definitely still a young lady. She wasn't that old.
I think she was in her 40s, like 43, I want to
say. Yeah.
But yeah, my cousin Jesse, he really, really likes Gangsta Boo. And one of her songs that I actually like a lot was Love Don't Live, right? And it kind of did that sample off of Love Don't Live Here Anymore. And she did the rap part of it or whatever. And it was an anthem that she did for the ladies.
Did she do Where the Dollars At?
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yep. Gangsta Boo did her thing, her. But again, this life that we have is real short, especially when you get to a point where you having children. The quicker you see your kids grow older, your ass growing older.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When your kids...
I think that you say that this life is short. I think that the perception is it's short because we take so long to finally live it. Like, most people don't actually earn their money and get things set up and stuff until they're in their 40s. And then, by the time they like 50, they tired, whatever. Like,
and if you're a good parent, you've been living it through your children.
Right.
Your life is being lived all over again. Then when the kids grow up and have babies, now you're stuck with the grandkids. So you basically living everybody's life but your own,
Correct.
In the end, so.
Correct. So, I think that, like I was just saying, your cup needs to overflow and everyone else get blessed from that overflow. Your cup is full for you, shouts out to, rest in peace to, Gangsta Boo and Barbara Walters, and then a shout out to Megan Thee Stallion. She won her case. The jury found Tory Lanez guilty of all charges from the 2020 shooting outside of the LA party. Megan Tory basically, Megan was shot in the foot after they left Kylie Jenner's house party. This was about 2 years ago, and Meg, she won her case. It was so many different speculations. It was so much mess going on or whatever. And then right after that, they released a audio that he was talking to Meg's best friend or whatever at that time, and was saying, tell her I'm sorry, like I didn't mean to. And I think what caught him up is like he said that he would give her like $1 million or something like that if she didn't say anything. So that was the crazy part about it or whatever.
Who said that?
Tory Lanez, he would give her $1 million if she, didn't say that he shot her or whatever. But
if you take that $1 million and invest in something positive and stay away from them circles that keeps y'all in trouble, because between our artists being murdered and staying in jail, it's ridiculous. It's almost like you becoming successful to be killed or do jail time. I just don't get it. It's too much more that you can do, especially, I mean, let me tell you, if I had some bread, I wouldn't have time for beef because you wouldn't see me.
Right.
I'd be enjoying myself.
Now you see why so many people leave the area where they grow up at, because
right.
most of the time that's where they're going to be killed
right.
at, because people are going to have the perception. They perceive that you have money and they're going to try to
Hustle,
get it, Yeah.
Right around the corner.
Yeah.
And he was trying to do positive things.
Yeah.
What's the other brother? Young Dolph.
Yeah.
In a cookie shop.
It says our live has ended. So
our live has ended.
Yep. It's sitting on there. On Facebook. And then the final one, I want to kick a shout out for Black Excellence. Third Black female airline captain at her company, should I say, was Antoinette Paris Hudson. She's the first African-American woman to graduate from Kansas State University Aviation Program with a BA in Aeronautical Technology and a minor in Aviation Safety. Talk about knowing what you want to do and sticking to it. So congratulations to Antoinette Paris Hudson for her Black excellence.
Oh, yeah. We need to hear more stories like that, because most of the time when we hear something, it's always negative and death and all that. So it's good to hear some positive, stuff about, people of color doing things.
Yeah, it's always positive. And I mean, it gives our youth something to look at and something to reach towards,
Right.
I know for me, when I was younger, I never saw anybody like doing aviation or, flying no planes or even having that aspiration to do that.
Yeah,
So, all right. So basically the topic, growth for the new year. We've already been talking about it basically. But if you are just getting started, like I said, for the new year, if you're just getting started, you're already behind. Today is January the 6th.
Right.
So the first week of the new year is actually gone. So you're actually behind. So in the last quarter of last year, you'll find most companies, they are planning on what they're going to do in the year to come. They are planning at their last quarter on what they're going to do in their first quarter of the new year.
Right.
So if you are just now planning, you are behind, but that's okay. We all have to start somewhere. So go ahead and get it done. The one thing that you want to make sure you do is whatever it is that you want to do, you want to make sure you write it down. Write it down. The word says write the vision and make it plain so he that readeth it can run with it. Okay. So if you write it down and you look at it every day, you're going to work on it every day. If you write out your business plan or whatever and you take it to an investor and they read it, they're going to run with it. So write it down. It is imperative that you write out your goals and your plans and what it is that you want to do, and visit them often and revamp things as you need to. You would be surprised at the things that you may have already achieved if you check them off or whatever, and you've already achieved some of those things, and you can add something else in that place. But again, make sure you put it down on paper. Put it down on paper. And then you want to focus on one or two things, not 15 things. Focus on one or two things. Yes, they say we can multitask and stuff like that, right? But that is really not a true thing for you to multitask. That's not a true thing. You cannot multitask. You can't split your energies on a lot of different things without those things falling by the wayside or something getting missed or something getting left out. And if you are saying, oh yeah, I can multitask, that means that everything is being done at 100%. And we know that that's just not true. So focus on one or two things and just dive in, stick to those one or two things, hone in on them, push them, and make sure that you get those done and go to completion. And in the work of some of those things, you will complete the actions that you have on other things, because some of those things are requiring that you do this, that, and the third in order to meet that. So that's the way that it goes. When you push until you make it happen, then you get the results that you are looking for when you focus on those things. One thing that I want to say that I have to kind of be mindful of the way that I say, you know what? No, I don't. No, I don't. And I'm not. Oh, well. Okay. If you are starting the same way that you started last year, if you are doing the same things that you did last year, you're going to get the same results that you got last year. If you do not get the same results that you got last year. If you do the same thing expecting different results, that's called insanity. You're not going to get a different result by doing the same thing. You have to change it up. You have to do something different. If you do the same thing, you're going to get the same results. And that's just, I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that. I don't have to be an aeronautical technology, okay? A technologist. I don't have to do that in order to know that if I'm doing the same thing, I'm going to get the same results. So switch it up. Find out why you didn't make that goal, why you didn't complete that goal, why things didn't go the way that it went. And you said something a little bit earlier. You said, even if you know that those things are like you're supposed, if you know that they are right or given to you by God and you're working towards it and it doesn't seem like it's going the way that it needs to go or whatever, to stick in there. Yes, stick in there, but evaluate it also.
Right.
Evaluate it. Find out what's going on. Why, what else do you need to do? Who else do you need to connect with? I have somebody that I talk to and they say, you know what? I ain't helping nobody else. I'm not going to help anybody else. I ain't going to tell nobody what's going on with me. I'm not going to help them. And I said, you know what? Well, you're not going to be blessed.
Right.
Well, how is that? How am I not going to be blessed? Because I don't want to help nobody else. Well, first of all, we were put here to help one another. That's one. But number two, if your hand is closed because you don't want to help anybody else, then your hand is also going to be closed and you can't receive that blessing. So you don't want to sit there and cut everybody out. The person that you might be helping, they might be helping you as well by giving you information. It's not always about money or things or whatever. Information is the value right there. Now what you do with that information, that's totally something else. So you don't want to sit here and keep doing the same thing if that thing is not working for you. If you know that you were called to that. And there have been times, and I'll use myself for an example. Y'all know that I really try to be transparent. There have been times that I sit up and I cry and I'm frustrated and maybe I'm not supposed to do fitness and maybe I'm not, but I have those people that's in my inner circle that actually see what's going on with me. And they're like, no, go on and push through. It's going to be okay. You're getting down on yourself right now. This is a you thing. This not everybody else, because when you are dealing with business and you are operating as an entrepreneur, you have to understand that there's not a check that's automatically coming in every week or every 2 weeks or once a month. You have to actually get out there and work, and as an entrepreneur, you have to understand that if you're not working, then you're not making any money. So a lot of people don't want to grind like that, or a lot of people can't push to that level. They can't keep going and keep running like that, and sometimes you get down. That's why it's necessary to have people around you that will speak life into you, that see your vision, and that's not going to say, oh, let me take that from her or from him and let me run and do it. Because you know what? It's no new information out there. It's nothing new under the sun. Ecclesiastes tell us that, right? But you can take what it is that I said and you can't do anything with it because you can't do it like me. Just like I can't do it like you, If you were given that gift or you was blessed with that gift or that talent, then you use it and you operate like you're supposed to, and you can tell the world about it, and they can't do nothing with it because they're not you.
Exactly. And again, even with your losses, you have to still make a plan. Because there's positivity in taking losses.
That's right.
Because it's easy to lose $500 opposed to $5 million.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, you're learning. I watched during the pandemic, that I stayed in business and I seen multi-billion-dollar companies close.
Correct.
So this tells you that it's a learning lesson no matter what you do. I mean, I told you like over a year ago what my plans was. I'm cleaning house of people that I don't feel that I'm going to grow with. Oh, it hurt.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it didn't hurt, because at the end of the day, those people were covering bills. But when you see something that's surrounding you that's choking the life out of you, that can help other people that really want this seriously, you got to move the people away that's not serious. And be willing to evaluate, well, how I'm going to make up what I'm not going to do that I normally would do for myself, because I got to make this a circle. It'll get more comfortable. It'll get more smoother. Then the people that you have around you that's right, they're going to bring other people to you.
Right.
But if it's a bunch of chaos, you're going to lose your good people behind people that ain't doing right. So just keep a plan going at all times. And remember, every day, life changes. So does your plan sometime. It don't have to change, but it has to vary away from this and say, okay, right now, I mean, we got people that made plans up 5 years ago for their business, but they didn't plan a pandemic was going to come in and change everything of what they doing. So now you seeing more robotic things in stores. You being served by computers.
Right.
Maybe that was a 15-year plan. But
that's
after
been
the
going
pandemic,
on a long time.
Right.
Yeah.
But once the pandemic hit, they had to rush that real quick. Like, hey, look, I cannot deal with the people that's going to call in and don't want to come to work. They're afraid that they may get sick. I need to put this into play. I go into Walmart now. I barely see any contact up front now.
Correct. I mean, that, and you could pay attention to that when they started doing the robotics program and stuff like that, like 10, 15 years ago. I mean, that was a huge thing. Everybody was doing robotics.
Yeah.
And now those robots, or quote unquote machines, are running everything.
Right.
Yeah.
And you allow them to get so much knowledge that they don't even need you no more.
Yeah.
These machines have picked up our ways.
Well, I mean, you create the machines. I mean, all the machines are created, on the wave of a human. I mean, just like computers.
Right.
Computers is made by a human, and it's based off the human brain,
Right.
So everything is there. But something that you just said, the way that I say it is no losses. There are always lessons.
Right.
There are no losses.
Right.
One of my really good friends, he always says, like, change the way that you look at things, and the thing that you're looking at changes. So change your perception on the thing,
right,
and it'll change.
Right.
So listen, guys, when life give you lemons, they used to say make lemonade. This fitness by Nori. So we're going to either juice or we're going to make some smoothies. Okay.
Right.
So when life give you lemons, make you some lemonade, you going to juice, or you going to make you a smoothie. All right. So I said that to say something that you would really want to do, especially at the beginning of the year. You've seen all these programs that were coming out. Hopefully you guys jumped on some of those or whatever, but they were some detoxification programs, some cleansing programs to release the body of the sugar and the yeast and stuff like that. So hopefully you guys were able to get in on some of those programs. If you need assistance with that, then tap in. Let me know. I will help you. You want a clean house too. When you keep things that are around you from past relationships, past friendships, you keep a lot of paperwork and stuff that you had from old jobs and all of that foolishness. All of that stuff carries energy, so you want to get all of that out of there, remove it, energies of traumas and all of this stuff. Throw that stuff out, burn that. You don't need it. One of my girlfriends said, she threw stuff out and she ain't used it in 17 years. She said, but as soon as she throw it out, she be like, oh, I needed that.
Yeah.
No, you didn't. You ain't used it in 17 years. And if you need it, then go buy something new. It probably looks different. You could probably utilize it differently. Like on my closet, on my clothes closet, when I cleaned out my closet, when I had lost all my weight and all of that, and people they still laugh at me. I had stuff in my closet from sizes 2 all the way up to sizes
22. 22.
From size 2 all the way up to size 18. I did. And People are like, no, you did. Yep, I threw all that stuff out. And it's a note on my closet right now that says, if you do not wear this within 6 months, throw it out. I do too much. I go too many places. I hang out with folks and all of that to even wear the same thing over and over again. But that's what we tend to do. So if you don't wear it, then throw it out or give it to somebody that'll wear it, that'll appreciate it. It was stuff that was still in my closet that had tags on it. And I ain't talking about 1 or 2 pieces. I'm talking about a lot of those clothes still had tags on it. So be mindful of that. You know, we also use retail therapy, right? We use that as a way of escape. Retail stick, therapy. Stop buying stuff, spending money, invest. Be mindful of that. But at the same time, I want you to be mindful of taking care of you. One of my girlfriends, she works all the time. She works day in and day out. She has like 3 jobs. She works all the time. She takes care of her kids. Everything, right? But she never buy herself nothing. Or she'll say, oh, that's too much to spend on me. Why? You're the one that's working every day. But you'll turn around and give your kids $500, $600, $700. The devil is a liar.
Right.
Listen, take care of you. You teach people how to treat you by how you treat yourself. And best believe, women and men, and I've had this conversation with my cousins, with my, family, with friends, women and men see low-hanging fruit. They can see that you are not taking care of yourself. They can see that you're taking care of everybody else and buying for everybody else, but you won't buy for yourself and you won't do for yourself. They see that. So when they come along and they try to date you, they won't do for you either.
Right.
People will treat you how you treat yourself. Yeah. If you deal with a bunch of mess or whatever, they will bring a bunch of mess in your life. If you eject and release that foolishness, they won't come to you. They will not. Listen, it was, we were walking in a, and I don't know if I told this story before. We were walking in the Fiesta parking lot. We were getting out of the car, getting ready to go in the parking lot. It was me and one of my really good friends. This lady that does tarot reading or whatever approached my friend. And I was thinking to myself, these folks never approach me. They never approach me because I have a relationship with God myself. You mean to tell me some cards and told you something about me? And I'm not, please don't misunderstand me. I'm not down in nobody else and what nobody else got going on. That just doesn't work for me. Just like when I pray at the end of my classes, I don't try to push my beliefs off on anybody. Whatever deity you pray to or whatever, that's on you. But I give thanks for me. I'm grateful, So they don't never come to me because I have a relationship myself. So be mindful of stuff like that, guys. Don't just fall into any and everything, and whichever way the wind blows, it just can toss and turn you anyway.
Right. And life is meant to live, not somebody pre-predicting what you're going through. Now you running through life trying to figure out what day is this going to happen that they say is coming, and just leave that. That's almost evil, to be honest.
Absolutely.
And the hell you get that from?
So, and my final thing, so I said cleansing and detoxing the body, also mental cleansing the body, and that includes releasing some people to, one of my prayers that I prayed at the end of the year, the beginning of this year, was, Lord, remove anybody from me that is not supposed to be around me. Anybody that will be here to hinder me, to be here to hurt me, anybody that will bring me any type of harm or anything. And I can speak it out loud and I can say it because it's nothing that anybody can do anything to me, because my word tells me that no weapon formed against me shall prosper. He didn't say it wouldn't form. He said it wouldn't prosper, and so you can't do anything to me. But these are the things that I prayed about, like release, like, and the other part that I prayed to that was, and Lord, help my heart be okay with them walking away. Because everybody know that I was adopted and that I love, relationships and stuff like that. And I love people, and I try to do what I can to work on those relationships and to hone in on those relationships, right? Whether that be a friendship, a marriage, a girlfriend, boyfriend relationship, whatever it is, a work relationship, I try to build those relationships, right? But people know that. And when people know that, they will try to use that to their advantage. So I'm just grateful that the Lord has given me that spirit of goodbye. I've had the spirit of no now for a couple of years now. So I'm feeling good about no. Because no is a complete sentence, guys, and you need to be able to tell people no sometimes.
Right.
No is, let me tell you something. A yes all the time is too expensive. You're telling people yes all the time? That's too expensive. It takes too much away from you. You have to say no sometimes. And the crazy part is the person that you tell yes all the time, you do anything for, you're there, you're breaking your back. You every time they call you there, every second. But you say no one time, they forget about everything else that you've done.
Oh, yeah.
And listen, them the type of people that I'll be like, oh, well, that no right there was well worth it. They need to go on. Sometimes we're giving people a yes and we are actually enabling